thing. All right, welcome back, everybody. 2018 will be known as the year of volatility in the stock market. Here to tell us why you shouldn't panic after this past year. And we're also going to talk about the outlook for 2019. We have got Wilsey Asset Management chief guy, Brent Wilsey. You didn't name the company Wilsey.
Yeah, Wilsey.
You're the man.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's start with this shutdown. It's top of mind right now. And what are the basics that we as investors need to know?
Well, again, it sounds pretty bad, like, oh my gosh, the government's shutting down and so forth. We look back to 1976 and saw what the average return has been with government shuts down during that time frame. It's a decline of 0.4%. And Jason, half the time, they're profitable. And people think, oh, Trump is terrible and so forth. It was shut down 5 times when Reagan was president. So this is not something new, not something different, like everything's going to collapse. Again, you still do well during a government shutdown. It's just, it's almost a non-event. So don't panic about it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because on social media, there are times when, people say, hey, the sky is falling. The stock market's in free fall. How true is that?
It's not true. I mean, and again, it looks pretty bad. This is normal for markets. Markets do have volatility. One thing that is unique this year, and I've not seen it in history before, is not one, but 2 market corrections in 1 year. And a market correction is a decline from 10% from the peak to down 10%. And it's scary for people because you see that on the news, you see the ticker, oh my gosh, things are terrible. They're not that bad. We've talked about how that's about 1% of the volume is actually being traded. The other 99% is not being. So if you hold good quality investments, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, what do you say to the people who say, oh, it's falling, I got to get out before it keeps falling? I mean,
I hate hearing that. I hear people say, I can't sleep at night and so forth. That's because they don't understand what they have. And their advisor, whoever it is, doesn't understand investing well enough to say, no, look at what you have. You have some good quality businesses. This is not going to last because of these situations and so forth. So when they have that, I do say, look at your investments closely or talk to someone that knows about investing. I mean, that's what we do for our clients. And say, if you do have a problem, let's fix it. If not, don't panic and sell and just go to cash. Terrible move.
Okay, how about another interest rate hike that might be on the horizon? How might that affect things?
Well, and that's kind of hurt 2018 as well because of fear of rising interest rates. And I do believe on the last one that Powell, he did raise rates because I think President Trump kind of forced him to do that because he didn't want to show that he was kind of under Trump's thumb, so to speak. But that concerned in 2018, the rising interest rates, I don't think that's going to continue.
Now, something we haven't heard recently, at least I don't think we have, is the trade war with China. As far as any negotiations or any back and forth and the tariffs, what's your take on that?
There's been some good news that comes out of that, but it's just not been enough. I mean, they talked about they would have some concessions on agriculture, on cars, but there's still no deal yet. And we hear Peter Navarro, who's a very tough negotiator, saying we will put more tariffs on at the end of these 90 days and so forth. It kind of scares people a little bit. I do believe in 2019 there will be a resolution, things will be resolved, but it's causing fear right now. And I have talked that our economy is a $20 trillion economy. If all these tariffs hit, that'd be about $20 billion. And I tell people, it's the same if you had $20,000 and you lost $20. It's $20 billion is a lot of money, but not in a $20 trillion economy. It's the fear of what can happen, and it's not going to be devastating.
That's good to know. Okay, this is an interesting fact that the United States is now producing more oil than Saudi Arabia or Russia. What does that mean for us? When are gas prices going to come down? How does that affect our market? If we got all this oil now, come on, our gas should be cheaper.
Well, unfortunately, here in California, we got a lot of taxes. I mean, in Texas, you go there, it's $1.88 a gallon. Here, it's like $3.30 or whatever it is. So, but it has come down, and it's just great news. I mean, you should be proud of that. The United States now. Remember back in '73, we're dependent. We had, on our knees with OPEC and how terrible it was. We're now oil independent. We don't need these other countries. We are producing the same as Russia and Saudi Arabia. So we should be very happy about that. And what that has done, Jason, is that it has bring down the price of gas. So now consumers have more money in their pocket, so they can spend more. And also, it's non-inflationary, so it means there's not so much pressure on interest rates to go up. So it's a triple whammy. I like it.
So when you look ahead to next year, 2019, what do you see in your, you don't have a crystal ball, I'm not going to say that, but I mean, when you look at it, we have a new Congress, January 6th, I believe, that's coming into power. So what do you say?
It would take a whole other segment probably to explain the whole thing, but I do believe 2019 will be a far better year. There's a lot of positives I see, a lot of negatives this year will be positive next year. And that's why I'm telling people, don't panic and sell. understand what you have before you start selling, because maybe you should sell. Maybe you got some crappy investments. Maybe you bought Snap at the IPO and now it's at $4 a share. It's not going to go back to there. So look at different things. But I do believe 2019 is going to be a very good year. It's the third year of the presidency. That's always been a good year in history.
Nice. Okay. Workshops.
Yes. We can now talk about the workshops. We have one coming up January 24th, a Thursday, starting at 6:30 in Scripps Ranch, and we'll talk about all this stuff to help people kind of calm their fears and know what direction they should be going.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the research that you do. You've explained to me how you research. Like, isn't it on Mondays you sit down and you just pour through everything?
Or go all the numbers. I mean, before you buy a business stock, it's 10, 15, 20 hours of research saying, do we really want to get this business? Sometimes it takes us months to buy that. And there's other people, well, they look at it, oh, I'm going to buy it, and they do it in like 10 seconds there. So a lot of research to make sure you're getting the good businesses. And when that happens, Jason, do all that research, you do not panic when these things happen, because you know you own something of quality. And that's what Warren Buffett does. I mean, it's very simple. I follow the master there. I mean, he doesn't panic, he doesn't sell. He just actually bought, what's that, 30 million shares of JP Morgan Chase. He bought a lot of Apple. They're down. He's not selling.
Wow. All right. Brent Wilsey, Wilsey Asset Management. Always great to see you.
All
it's
right.
educational, that's for sure.
Great being here as always.
All right, we'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego.